Hi everyone, hope you all had a wonderful week. Well, it's only a matter of days to Christmas, and this will be the last report for 2025. More on that shortly. In this week's report, Lake Eucumbene fell for the first time in months this week. I'll let you know by how much. We'll see where the fish were biting. Pete has another great mountain photo to share with us. I'll spotlight the Murrumbidgee Eucumbene Tunnel. There's the weather, pick of the week, and more. As I mentioned at the start of this video, this will be the last Lake Eucumbene weekly report for the year. I started putting these videos together back in February and have compiled one every week since, barring one I didn't get to back on the 3rd of August. When I started, the videos were taking many hours to put together, and although they still take me a long time to do, I have managed to get a little bit faster at doing them. I'll be honest, I have considered stopping doing them a few times, but the positive feedback and the growth in the number of people viewing them does keep me going. When I started, I had fewer than 20 subscribers to the YouTube channel Spirits in the Snowies. Today it's 1,070, and the Lake Eucumbene Facebook group is now nearing 30,000 members. Thank you. These weekly videos are all up on the YouTube channel, so if you have some spare time over the Christmas break and want to watch them, please do. Just before we move on, I want to thank each and every one of you for watching, and especially to those who have posted pics, stories, or reports to the Lake Eucumbene Facebook group this year. After all, without your content, these reports wouldn't be possible. A special mention to regular contributors including Tiny, Reno, Jim J, Craig, Mick, Nate, John, and Pete Wilson, to name just a few. To keep the reports interesting and viable, I'd really like to see more people post next year. So while I take a break from doing them, please post content to the Lake Eucumbene Facebook group. I'd love to see your photos. They don't have to be fish related, and I'd love to see some old photos of the lake or region. Please also post any Eucumbene related stories you might have, a great fishing tale, information about the lake from years gone by, memories of your time visiting the lake with your family and friends. Anything nostalgic is great. Maybe even a photo of you watching these weekly reports. And finally, to everyone watching, I wish you and your families a very Merry Christmas and a safe, Happy New Year. For the first time in months, Lake Eucumbene is showing signs it's reached its seasonal peak. The lake fell by 0.2% this week and sits on 44.5%. It'll really be interesting to see where it sits this time next week. Tantangra Dam also fell 0.2% this week, and Lake Jindabyne's down 0.3%. It's been a fairly quiet week out on the lake, as I think people are concentrating on getting ready for Christmas. Anglers that were out, though, did catch some good fish. Matthew from Saildown in Victoria was fishing at Seven Gates during the week in some glorious weather. Matthew landed this whopping 62cm brown early on Thursday with chunky cheese powerbait. It's a great catch, Matthew, and thanks to your mum Rita for posting to the Lake Eucumbene Facebook group. Cooma locals Mick and Tash were back at their favourite lake during the week and had another very productive trip in glorious summer weather. The couple launching from Old Anonymity and trolling large devils and lofties deep, around 8 to 10 metres, on downrigger and 4 to 5 colours of 12-pound lead core at around 3.5 kilometres per hour. As you can see in these pictures and videos, that worked a treat.
Fish on. Beautiful.
Mick and Tash also wanted to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas. Right back at you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful Christmas too, and I hope to see you out on the water sometime in the new year. Stay safe. Adrian and Crystal arrived at Buckenderry yesterday for a 3-day trip, and it didn't take Crystal long to get amongst the fish. Crystal landed this big brown using chunky cheese powerbait, the fish weighing 2.88 pounds. What a great catch, Crystal. Adrian added it was the only touch they had all afternoon using powerbait and worms, and the fish was empty apart from a couple of insect remains. Thanks for a great report, Adrian, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your stay. We've learned a lot about some of the best flies to use up in Lake Eucumbene from Jim this year. Jim also letting us know which are the best techniques to use when using them to ensure the best results. This week Jim posted this imitation bloodworm or larva from a midge. Jim adding they typically live on the bottom in the mud and can stay in that form for a couple of years before they emerge as pupae. Bloodworms provide a good option during the day as the trout can feed and have the shelter of deeper water. The key here, though, is to get the fly as close to the bottom as possible. Thanks for another great tip, Jim, and thanks for all your posts this year. We're looking forward to seeing and hearing more from you next year. Merry Christmas to you and your family. Darko from Boss Lures has a few of his well-known and very effective trout lures for purchase, including these. And as Darko said, they'd make an ideal stocking stuffer for the keen angler in your family. If you're interested in grabbing some, please message Darko via Facebook Messenger or on Instagram at Boss Lures. Peter's taken some amazing photos this year, and it's been a real pleasure highlighting one every week in these video reports. This week, I've chosen this great drone shot Pete took recently. I really love it as it brings back a lot of memories of my time working up at Selwyn Ski Resort and the countless times I've travelled the dirt road in the centre of the Pic. Can you guess the name of this road? Well, it's Christmas, so I'll give you a couple of clues. At the top of the road and slightly to the right are the green slopes of Selwyn Ski Resort. In the top left of the Pic is my second favourite waterway in the mountains, 3 Mile Dam. And if you continue to travel south on the dirt road, you'd reach the turn-off to Eucumbene and Cabramurra. So, how did you go guessing? Well, if you guessed it's King's Cross Road, well done. King's Cross Road, also known as the back road between Cabramurra and Selwyn, is 7 kilometres long and runs through some spectacular scenery. It offers great views of the very impressive Mount Eucumbene. At its highest point, the road is 1,620 metres above sea level. The road is snowbound in winter and is closed to traffic between June and October long weekends. It's well worth a drive if you're ever up that way. Thanks for another great pick, Pete, and looking forward to seeing more in 2026. To you and your family, have a wonderful Christmas. This week I spotlight the Murrumbidgee Eucumbene Tunnel. The tunnel discharges water from Tantangra Dam into Lake Eucumbene using gravity to transfer water for power generation and supply, and it's a significant feat of engineering. The tunnel is 16.6 kilometres long, 3 metres in diameter. Construction was completed in 1961, and it's capable of carrying 1,500 megalitres of water a day, which is the equivalent to filling 25 Olympic swimming pools per hour. So where does it all begin? Many watching this video would have been to Providence Portal and seen the tunnel outlet. If you have, you couldn't miss it. Depending on the season, it will either be a trickle or an impressive full flow. More on that in a minute. What you may not have seen, though, is the start of the tunnel at the Tantangra Dam. If you look carefully, you'll see the tunnel entrance in this photo. See it? How about now? Here it is. This pic was taken back on the 24th of September 2021 when Tantangra Dam was sitting on 34% or 1,210 metres above sea level. For reference and best view of the tunnel entrance, if you stand near the dam wall and look sharply left on the bank nearby, you'll find it, assuming the water levels are below 36%. At the other end of this tunnel is Providence Portal, and as I mentioned, it looks quite different depending on the inflows from Tantangra Dam. And don't forget to stop by the portal or Tantangra Dam on your next trip up and take a look for the tunnel. A very pleasant week of weather ahead for Lake Eucumbene, with sunshine dominating. Little to no rain is forecast over the next 7 days. And at this stage, Christmas Day is looking mild and partly cloudy with a top of 19 degrees. When Colin reflected on the year, it didn't take him long to work out what his personal highlight was. It was catching his first ever brook trout in nearby Lake Jindabyne a few months back. This beautiful and rare fish landed in the Snowy Arm. It sure is a wonderful lifelong memory, Colin, and thanks for sharing it with us. Tiny posted this great pic of the stars over the lake last Tuesday evening near his home at Angler's Reach. It's a beautiful capture, Tiny. I want to say thank you for all the pics, videos and Eucumbene content this year, mate. You've been a big part of these videos and we've loved them. Looking forward to next year. I want to wish you, Julie and all your family a very Merry Christmas and a safe, Happy New Year. and see you for a fish soon. Just when you think you've seen everything, Danny and mates were heading back to camp one February evening after a great day out on the water, landing some nice browns. Luckily, they had their eyes peeled heading in as they came across a pig taking a dip close to shore. Yes, you heard right, a pig. Thankfully, Danny captured the moment on video, as I'm sure no one would have believed him. Now, I've seen emus and roos taking a dip in Eucumbene, but never a pig. Here's the video. Thanks for sharing, Danny. As you saw earlier, Jim regularly shares his favourite trout flies with us. This time, Jim posted this pic of him landing a big brown from the stockyards back in 2017. Jim adding the fish was Polaroided and took a size 16 black nymph. Great to see you, Jim, and please keep the pics coming. We love seeing them. Ross posted this interesting photo during the week. Ross found this combo selector at a garage sale and asked the Lake Eucumbene Facebook group if anyone knew much about it and whether they would work. Ross's post generated quite a few comments. Andrew saying he had two of them and they were pretty handy 30 years ago to chase water temperature and find the thermocline, and they were handy to suggest a colour. Colin said Ross's version was the premium model, measuring light, temperature and pH level. As the dial text indicates, colour selection includes consideration for clear, stained or muddy water. The cable extends 15 metres and needs to be descended while stationary to avoid blowback, which would give false depth indication. Meanwhile, Scott did offer some caution, saying these can give the angler a false sense of security because the lure's location, depth, size and action greatly override the importance of colour, which comes last. He said also to be mindful that the unit will give you constantly changing readings with clouds, time of day, etc., and you'll be forced with endless lure changes when that is not what maximises catches. If you want to read more of the comments, please search for Ross's post on the Lake Eucumbene Facebook group. Before we look at the pick of the week, Tiny has a message for all his mates watching this video. Take it away, Tiny.
Just got to say to all my mates, all my friends, Merry Christmas, you filthy animals.
Right back at you, mate. Looking forward to catching up with you in 2026. For pick of the week, I've chosen this great shot taken by Gavin yesterday afternoon from Jens Bay. It shows a storm coming in from the west. It's a beautiful capture, Gavin, and thanks for sharing with us. The last fishing meme for the year is really lovely. It ain't always about catching fish. Sometimes we just need to reflect. And how very true is that? Well, that's the report for this week and the reports for this year. I hope you found them useful. As always, I'm happy to take on any feedback or suggestions. And don't forget, if you're looking for more information on Lake Eucumbene, check out the social media channels. There's the website, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And please don't forget to like and subscribe, and you'll be notified as soon as I put up new videos. Have a great week, everyone. Stay safe and tight lines. Have a Merry Christmas, and bye for now.